NBC 15 News starts now.
Good evening. We are interrupting NBC programming to bring you coverage of the Wisconsin Badgers basketball news conference. Now, the Badgers just beat the Arizona Wildcats, so Bucky is now going to the Final Four. So let's go live to LA for that Badgers news conference.
But I'm so proud of these guys to be able to say that they've answered the bell in the second half in almost every game we've played here in the last 7 to 10 games. And they're a tough bunch, and I hope they don't change.
All right, we're going to start right here in the second row in the middle, please.
Nick Hamilton, Examiner.com. This message is for Sam Decker. Hey, Sam, you had 20 points in the second half. You were 5 for 5 from three-point range. How did you get in that zone, especially coming out of halftime? What did you did you have to go, dig into yourself a little deeper, or what happened in that second half?
Not really. I just knew I had to stay aggressive. Getting to the line at the last play of the first half really gave me some confidence, knowing that I could take them off the dribble inside. And Rondé and Stanley are two physical, good defenders, but I was able to. We as a team were able to get them in a little bit of foul trouble, and that really helped. So that opened up the driving lines for myself, and then Bronson got me for some good looks on the outside and really got my shots going. So all in all, it was just a lot of confidence, and I was put in the positions to hit some shots, and they were able to go down for me.
Real quick reminder to the media: we can't be videotaping for use right now. So please, if you want to videotape, you'll have to go through the Hammond folks. No videotaping. Folks in the back, please come on up, take a seat. We need to keep that area clear. So our second question is going to go right here in the second row.
Zach Brazil, New York Post. For Sam and Frank, when last season ended, how much did you guys talk together about what you were going to do? Did you kind of commiserate about, do we want to go to the NBA? Do we want to come back? And now that you're back to where you were last year, how happy are you that you decided to come back to school?
Well, it wasn't a tough decision for me. How painful that loss was and how much I wanted to improve my game. So it wasn't too tough a decision for me. Frank and I both, we didn't really have to talk about it much. And then, that loss, left a sour taste in our mouth. So we wanted to, get back, and as a team, we set some goals of what we wanted to do. And now we're 2 games away from our last goal that we had. And, all our guys came together, and couldn't be prouder of these guys. And I'm honored to be, on this ride with them.
Same thing. It wasn't a tough decision at all. You come back to school for moments like this, to share it with your teammates, your friends, the people you've been with for the last 4 years of your life, very significant people that are going to be in the rest of your life as well. So, a moment like this is the most memorable moments of our lives. And, I'm sure we'll remember this for a very long time, every single guy in this team. And, I can't be more grateful for the opportunity that the school has given me to be put in this position. And, I'm just so happy right now.
All right, we're going to go right here in the front row, please. Other side. There you go.
Bo, Stephen Herbert, City News Service. What do you attribute your team's second half shooting success to?
Well, they've been like this pretty much all year. Not at that percentage, but they are a disciplined group. Those shots were good shots. They were open. Teammates put them into position. It was the pass before the pass to Sam that set Sam up for a couple of his threes. The way these guys have played off of each other, sometimes, we have guys that are pretty smart, and what they're trying to figure out, it seems, in the first half is where we need to go, what we can do to get good shots, because in the second half they've done a much better job of getting the good looks. And then, guys got hot. You don't shoot 79% every day in a half, but they were good shots and probably shouldn't have missed the other 4.
We're going to go back there. Remind, these are the questions for student athletes, please. We'll go to Matt.
Matt Calkins, UT San Diego. This is Frank and Josh. Obviously, everyone shot well in the second half, but Sam was hitting threes with future first-round picks right in his face. Can you guys just comment on what you were thinking watching the Sam Decker show?
Yeah, it was future first-round picks going at it, Sam and those guys. So Sam's just a heck of a player. He's really picked up his game now when it matters the most. The past few weeks, he's had a great year, and this tournament he's really shown his full arsenal, offensively and defensively. So, once he's in a rhythm like that, I know he's pretty hard to stop. So it was almost get him the ball because you could tell he wanted it. And when he's confident like that, making plays, being aggressive, this is the stuff that happens.
We're going to go 6th row in the middle there, right there.
Lindsay Schnell, Sports Illustrated. Sam, you hit a 3 to put you guys up 79-71. Shot clock was winding down, and you just kind of tossed it at the rim. Were you just feeling it at that point, or were you just trying to get a shot off?
Is your boy gonna lose it?
He thinks that was like the shot I had in high school to win state, but yeah, kind of. Well, I don't know who exactly it was, but I had to get it up a little higher. But it was actually, I had a good, clean look at the rim. I just had to put a lot of arc on it, kind of floater it towards the rim, and felt good off the hand. And Trey was standing right behind me when I shot it. He yelled buckets because he saw he had a good line. So his confidence went down, and yeah, like you said, it was the end of the shot clock, so I knew we needed a shot. Didn't want to, just get a turnover or something. I just wanted to put one up, and was able to get a pretty clean look, and just was able to knock it down.
All right, just let everybody know we got about 7 questions stacked up here, so we're going right here.
Rafe Bartholomew Grantland. Sam, I was actually going to ask something similar about the arc on that 3 that Lindsay just asked. So I guess Frank and Josh, what were you thinking when you saw him take 2 dribbles and go up at that moment, and when you saw how high that shot went up, and just, I don't know, what was it? What were your thoughts?
Well, felt like the ball was in the air forever from my standpoint. I was standing at the top of the key, just kind of watching him go to work. And, I've seen him make that play hundreds of times, not necessarily in games, but just in practice in open gyms throughout the summer. That's a shot that he can make. So even though it may have looked tough, to him it's pretty routine. It's obviously not an easy shot to make, but when he took it, there's no doubt in my mind it had a great shot to go in. And obviously, as it got closer, it looked right in the money.
Frank, you want to comment on that?
It's the same thing.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay, so we're going to start with Jill. Jill's first, and then we're going to go right there.
Jill Painter Lopez, Fox Sports West. Sam, can you talk about the last 2 games? Like, what was the difference for you? I mean, back-to-back career highs in the NCAA tournament. It's not often that happens. What's happened for you the last 2 games?
I'll just try to stay aggressive and play my game, and just try to be attack first guy. And I have the ability to use my athleticism, and sometimes I don't use it the way I should. And when I'm in tune with that and doing it and using it to my advantage, it makes the game come a lot more smoothly and naturally. And it also helps to have this guy next to me, get a lot of attention. Some guys turn their heads, and I'm able to get some easy looks. So when you have a guy like that can also, off the dribble, find you, it makes the game a lot easier. And then I can say that for the other guys on the court. We got a lot of unselfish guys, and they're just telling me to stay on top and be aggressive and look for my shot when I get it.
We're going to go in the 3rd row in the turquoise shirt, please.
Yeah, this is for Josh. Josh, this is David Moore with USA Today. Last year, you guys got to the Final Four, and basically the whole team came back almost. This year, there's this feeling that this may be the last look at this team the way it looks at this point. So how do you feel differently going into the Final Four this year than you did last year?
Well, we obviously lost a big piece in Ben Brust. He played a lot of minutes for us. But, yeah, we had a core group of guys coming back. So last year, it was a great feeling getting to the Final Four. It was almost like, we were on top of the world. And this year, it's, kind of got the attitude of, like, what's next type thing. I don't know. It's a little different feeling. We know we got more to accomplish. We've obviously had a really good year thus far, but we got bigger goals and stuff on our mind. But, Wisconsin basketball, I mean, every year it seems like, guys graduate, guys leave, and other guys step up. And that's just going to be the case with this year. We're going to lose a good chunk of our team, obviously. But trust me, there's some good players who haven't been on the court yet and who will be coming back next year as well. So Wisconsin basketball's got a really bright future.
Going all the way back on the left, please.
Raphael Johnson, NBC Sports. Question for Frank. What was it about Arizona's length that may have given you some difficulty in the first half, and what changed in the second? And then for Josh, do you want to talk about your interaction with Reggie Miller in the final seconds?
You know, I was a little out of control in the first half, you know, throwing up some wild shots, trying to play too fast, trying to make everything get a 10-point lead in one shot. So, you know, I just know I had to calm down in the second half and, you know, work through my teammates and, you know, work within the offense and try to figure out, you know, what we needed to do to push out the lead. And I was able to get some stuff inside. You know, I hit a 3 to start the second half. So it was just one of those things where I was trying to make too many things happen in one possession. So just had to play it possession by possession.
Josh?
I said Sam's got stones like you.
All right. We'll go.
Kidneys.
Kidney stones, yeah, kidney stones. I don't know. He laughed. He agreed with me. He gave me a good head nod.
Tell him about Reggie's demonstration of his passing ability at the shoot-around.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Reggie's not a passer. He even told us that, so. Sam?
The ball went out over by, he was watching practice, the ball went over by him and went up and got and threw a nice pass in bounds. And I think you said something like, that was your first pass ever?
I said, guys, I want you to look at this. Reggie Miller's passing the ball.
And he said, I didn't do that much in my career. But he didn't have to with his jumper.
Zach, you're up.
Zach Brazil, New York Post. Sam, how much is it your ankle's health been a factor in these last few games?
Yeah, well, that was a topic of conversation early in the season, but it's all good now. There's no pain, nothing's going on. It was just that first month, you know, it was just coming back, just like coming back from any injury. You gotta, you know, get back up to speed, get your confidence back, and you know, play through it. And yeah, it might suck at times, and sometimes it might feel good, but you just can't make excuses. Got to go out there, play, get up the next day, and realize they can get better. And these guys have played through injuries, our whole team has, and but like you said, it's always nicer to get healthy and play your game. And I'm happy that I am healthy at this point.
Go ahead, Zach.
To follow up, you mentioned the shot kind of was reminiscent to the high school championship game when you were a senior. How would you compare winning a state title with your dad to doing what you've done on this level?
Competition was a little better.
Yeah. They're both pretty sweet, obviously. You know, winning state is something that's always really cool, especially in your senior year, like you said, with your father as the coach. But, you know, that's 1A and 1B, and you can flip-flop them. But, you know, going to back-to-back Final Four with these guys and Coach Ryan and the staff and all the guys, it's in the whole school. It's something you can't replace, and you wouldn't give up for anything. And this is stuff you dream about. You know, when we committed, I know Coach said to me, he said, you know, we want to get to Final Fours, we want to bring championships to Wisconsin. And now we're one step closer. We got, you know, 40 more minutes guaranteed. Hopefully we can take care of that and then get another one. So, you know, this is what we want to do. I got a great group of guys with me, and we're just trying to take full advantage of it.
What was your reaction when Coach said that
Let's
to you?
do it. I don't see why we couldn't. You know, last year a lot of times we said why not us, and now this year it's trying to make them believe again. And I think we've done it pretty well so far.
All right, I have time for 2 more questions for the student athletes. We got one there, and we got Lindsay.
This is for Frank. Frank, at this point, do you feel like offensively you're always the one dictating? I mean, when Rondé's on you, you're willing to take him off the dribble. When Tarzuzi's on you, you're willing to take him in the post. Do you feel like the guys guarding you have any role in how you approach the game, or is it all on you at this point?
You know, I don't really care who's guarding me at this point. I'm just going to try to do whatever I can to help our team. You know, however they want to play us is fine. You know, we'll make adjustments to whatever, and we're ready for whatever. You know, we know we're going to see a lot of different things in the tournament. You know, no one wants to go home, so they're going to change up their defenses and do whatever. And if you see how our whole team played in that second half, you know, it doesn't really matter to us. We're just going to figure out a way to win the game. And it's just been so much fun so far. And, you know, Sam and I had a pretty good offensive game, but, you know, the rest of the guys on our team made huge plays that helped us. You know, Josh with that save at the end, Josh with that big 3 that I didn't know why he shot it, but it still went in. It's just plays like that you're going to remember for a long time that help you win games.
All right, Lindsay, you're it.
Frank, you did SportsCenter last night, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of teams, when they get to this point in the season, go into lockdown mode, no distractions. You guys are having so much fun. How have you managed to stay this loose, and how much sweet talking did it take to coach to let you go on SportsCenter last night?
We're just trying to have as much fun as possible. We're still kids at the same time. You know, we know, you know, what we're trying to accomplish and what we want to have the outcome be. But at the same time, I'm 21 years old. I'm having a blast. You know, I'm trying to do all the fun things that I can do while I can still do them. And I didn't even talk to him about it. I kind of just walked over there. It was fun. You know, I wish I would have had some better clothes to wear. I didn't know I was actually going to be on the SportsCenter, but yeah. It was a blast, and you know, we've just been able to do so many cool things while we've been in LA, and you know, I'm sure Indianapolis will be just as fun.
All right, with that, we're going to let them go. Thank you, gentlemen. Congratulations. Good luck next weekend. We'll give everybody a chance to get settled here. Those of you in the back, if you'd like to come on up and take a seat, you're welcome to do so.
No, you take it.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I might drop it.
Do you want me to take the net as well?
No.
You got it?
So, Coach, tonight your team scored season highs against Arizona, Arizona opponent highs, 85 points, 55.6% shooting from field goal percentage, 12 three-point field goals made, and a 66.7% three-point field goal percentage. Those are all opponent highs against Arizona this season. If we told you that was going to happen yesterday, what would you have told us?
I'd tell you to find another line of work. Yeah, these kind of games happen every so often. We've had other teams do it to us. I was talking the other day in the press conference about a guy that got hot against us with threes, and we tried everything in the world to stop him, and the kid was still making them. So we were making shots, and that fueled everything else.
Lindsay, you're first.
Bo, I want to know your thoughts on why your team has been so loose. How have they managed to keep that going, and what do you think about it? Do they make you laugh too?
Yeah, you know, I knew he was going over to SportsCenter, and that's fine. He represents Wisconsin. He's a grown-up. We don't monitor our guys and say you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't. You know, there's a lot they're learning while they're in college, and it all isn't in the practice gym or on the court. So they've handled themselves very well and represented the university in a first-class way. So they're okay. They're a good group. So they know when to get serious.
Is this one of the looser teams you've had in terms of personality?
Yeah. I coached a lot of engineers in Division III for 15 years. Their sense of humor isn't always the same. Do we have any engineers in here? Engineers are pretty serious. Civil engineers, mechanical engineers. So yeah, this is a group that, and I said it before, with Frank coming back, it kind of set the tone for everything. The commitment from all the teammates, and it's not that we weren't going to have a good team if he didn't, but he really sparked something, I think, in all of his teammates, and they've answered the bell so far.
Zach, did you have a question? Okay. Any further questions for the coach? Okay, well, we'll go with Zach, and then we'll go up here in the front.
Zach Brazil, New York Post. Coach, what do you think if it's a Kentucky rematch next Saturday?
I don't know. What's the score right now? We've got stuff on both teams ready to go. One coach has Kentucky. The other coach has Notre Dame. So they're probably back in there right now putting everything together. Is there a score? Okay. We're just happy we're playing. We'll play who's ever on that other line. That's okay by us.
Stephen, go ahead.
Stephen Herbert, City News Service. How long will you let your players, shall we say, celebrate and be happy about this before they have to start, concentrating and looking ahead to Saturday's game? What's your schedule over the next few days? I guess you leave here tomorrow.
We took 17 tests Wednesday and Thursday. Today's Saturday. Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So there's break next week, and so we'll have things for them to do to get ready for when we leave for Indy. There won't be a shortage of things for them, believe me.
How long can they be happy for this before they can, start looking ahead to
Well,
Saturday?
you got a chance to eyeball all three of them up here. Doesn't it look like three guys that are pretty happy?
Yeah.
They're not totally satisfied. They feel there's more out there, and they'd like to get home from this charter. We'll probably get back about 3 in the morning, and so tomorrow we won't be doing anything other than downloading games on their iPads of the team that we're going to play. So it's a smart bunch of guys. They'll look at those films, look at those games, and it helps when we put in the scout and we put in how we're going to play them, and also, there's veterans there, which really helps.
We're going right back here in the middle, please. Go ahead.
Sam Vecini, CBS Sports. You've been coaching a lot of years. Have you ever had a shooting performance like that in the second half in that big of a moment? Like an Elite Eight game, Final Four type game?
No, I only remember the ones where we got bumped when we didn't shoot well. No, I can remember getting hot last 5 minutes, hitting like your last 7 shots, 10 free throws in a row. I can remember some of those. But this one I'm going to enjoy quite a bit, because Arizona gave us everything they had. And I'm sure Sean's looking at that and going, come on, how many times is that going to happen? And, there's a team that won their league, won the conference tournament, got to this point. We were in the same position. One of us had to stay home. But no, I don't remember one like that. Not in a half.
Go ahead, Zach.
Zach from the New York Post. Like Sam said when he first came in, you told him, about making Final Fours and that kind of stuff. Why was there so much confidence with a group of players a few years ago that you guys could be able to do stuff like this?
Well, I knew he was a special player in that from early on. We had it over in no time that he said he wanted to be a Badger, because he always wanted to be a Badger. He's a great passer, a gamer in clutch situations. He made big shots in high school, made big shots in the AAU circuit. And for a player like him to say, okay, yeah, I'm in. I'm going to be in red and white. That tells you something about him. He's like, okay, yeah, I've seen some good teams. It's not like we hadn't won any games or been in the NCAA tournament or anything like that. It's not like I was asking him to come and change the program. But I just felt that he was the kind of guy that could affect people around him.
Okay, we're going to go to Matt.
Matt Calkins, UT San Diego. Coach, how does the feeling you have right now compare to when you first reached the Final Four last year?
Again, and I hate to, don't take it the wrong way, but I had coached in 5 Final Fours. So that game and then a game only in Division III, it's back-to-back games. I was as excited then as I am now, because I'm excited for the players. I'm excited for our fans, for our students, for our alumni. My appreciation and my feelings of what makes me feel good is that there are so many people affected by this win in a positive way. Did anybody hear anything about State Street tonight? Is everything okay? Last year, everybody got a little excited. Did you hear anything, Kel? Was it all right?
Yeah, the relatives are heading down to State Street.
Okay. The ones that didn't make it to California, they're heading to State Street in Madison. Okay.
Sam, go ahead.
Sam, after the last 2 games, has noted when he uses his athleticism like he should, this is the kind of result that happens. Is that something you have to stay on him about?
Oh, I've been known to prod as a coach. You have to. Make points of emphasis. Maybe not the way I'm talking right now, but, you know, yeah, Sam needs that at times. But that's okay. He's not the only one.
Go right here on this.
His heart's in the right place, and his mind is. It's like all of us. We need a push now and then.
Go ahead.
Okay, Coach, Rafe Bartholomew, Grantland.com. You know, you and Sam both mentioned that you compared that his last three to push the lead to 8 to a shot he made to win state championship in high school. I guess for those of us who are from out of state and don't know that shot that well, can you tell us what you remember about that shot back then and why the one he made tonight reminded you of it?
Well, the nice thing is that I can tell you I wasn't there because we were playing in the NCAA tournament. That's why. But then it goes on. What I don't have, Twitter or something, Facebook. So then people are showing it to me. I'm like, oh wow! But yeah, he hit a 3 at the buzzer to win a game, and kind of like the one he just hit. If you can probably still pull it up, I guess. But that was cold-blooded. I can tell you that.
Coach Nigel Hayes hit a couple of threes in the clutch down in the second half. You want to talk about him, his performance tonight?
Yeah, he didn't get down on himself. He could. I mean, there were some fouls that he felt that he didn't commit. Imagine that. And he was getting a little frustrated, but not. And then an air ball that is not Nigel Hayes. But he didn't get down. He didn't pout. He came back and really defensively did a nice job for us, and also hit some big shots. Yeah, those 2 threes in the second half were huge.
All right, any more questions for Coach Ryan? All right, we'll let him go. Thank you, Coach. Congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, that was Coach Ryan wrapping up tonight's press conference in L.A. Of course, we have our own crew live in L.A. and in Madison with the crowds who just watched the Badger game. NBC 15's Amy Flugsop is live outside the Staples Center in L.A., and our Lindsey Branwell is live in downtown Madison. So let's begin with Lindsey and reaction in Madison to that game. Lindsey.
Yeah, Zach, well, definitely an unexpected crowd for police, but not a surprising one given Wisconsin's loyal fans. The moment the clock ran to 0, we heard jump around blasting from local bars and restaurants, and we saw the empty State Street turn red. And not too long ago, fans had flooded State Street right up to this block. We have seen an increased police presence, dozens of officers coming in by car and on foot, but people have been really respectful. We've seen some of them climb on structures, but they get right down when police ask. Overall, we've seen people high-fiving and shaking hands with some of the police, in fact. But even though we're not seeing as many fans, we definitely are hearing them. Some of the chants that we've been hearing tonight have been Frank the Tank, on Wisconsin, let's go Badgers, and of course, for the first time since last year, Final Four, and people are just so excited. We are moving on. For now, reporting live from State Street, Lindsey Branwell, NBC 15 News.
All right, thank you, Lindsey. Now, we have been with the Badgers during their postseason run. NBC 15's Amy Flugsop is live tonight outside Staples Center in Los Angeles. Amy.
Hey, Zach, yeah, Bucky is packing his bags and heading to Indy, and let me tell you, fans out here in LA, they're ready to go along on this wild ride. Wow, what an incredible battle both on and off the court out here in LA. I don't know who put up a bigger fight, the fans or the players down on the court. Both Wisconsin and Arizona fans had the Staples Center rocking today, and let me tell you, if anybody comes out of this game with a voice tonight, I'm going to be quite surprised. Here to help give us a much better perspective of the game is Jim and Janine of Middleton, Wisconsin. And guys, you had some pretty incredible seats, just 9 rows up from the court. What was it like down there?
It was great. We were sitting right behind Kaminsky's dad and his Decker's dad. So we've been to a lot of basketball games, one of the best ever. Fantastic.
Awesome. It was a nail biter. Can your hearts handle another close game? I mean, it seems to be the trend here in the NCAA tournament with these guys.
I can say it. I wish you didn't have to play against a team of 7. We only should play against 5 with those officials. Tough game. Very tough game.
A lot of people coming out said the officials were against us today, but hey, Bucky came out on top. Now, you guys went back to the Final Four last year. Do you have plans to go this year?
Can't get back to Indy, but we'll be watching on TV.
All right, thanks. So, guys, give me your best go, Bucky.
Go, Bucky!
Thanks so much, guys. Again, things cleared out pretty quick here as Badger fans are most likely down at the LA Live Strip down there celebrating Bucky's big win. And guess what? Our Badger coverage is going to continue, so keep it tuned right here to NBC 15 as we're going to follow the team all the way to the end. Reporting in Los Angeles with the Badgers, Amy Fluxampt, NBC 15 News.
Thank you, Amy. An exciting night in LA, an exciting night all over Wisconsin. Congratulations to the Badgers on a great season so far. Now it's on to the Final Four. We'll, of course, have live coverage again from LA and Madison on NBC 15 News at 10. We now return you to regular programming.